I am here today to represent Claudius, King of Denmark, and ask for his forgiveness of his sins. Claudius is a man who is accused of many sins deemed as unforgivable. However, he deserves a fair chance to be heard as to why these situations arise and how he is being wrongfully accused. The Bible states that there are 7 deadly sins, sins that are essentially unforgivable. However, these sins can be overseen when the person accused has shown acts of virtue. Acts of virtue consist of such things like diligence, patience, and humility. Claudius has demonstrated each of these virtue acts, and has justified his reasonings behind sins committed. Claudius's sins start with the murder of his brother Hamlet, a murder Claudius committed. Claudius made a good king, and many agreed on this. Among the kingdom, he was well liked and made smart choices. His brother, on the other hand, was often away at war with other kings and couldn't see what the kingdom truly needed. Hamlet killing Fortinbras without thinking of the consequences. Fortinbras' young son was now seeking revenge and was going to invade Denmark. This is something Claudius could foresee and knew he had to prepare Denmark for war in a way that wouldn't be obvious and wouldn't lose lives. Claudius being able to think and both act wisely under his ruling, a whole country could be saved or have a fighting chance because they were both prepared for peace, arguments, or a battle. After King Hamlet's death, the young Hamlet returns from England and is in contact with his father's ghost. If a man whom was true to the church died, he should be allowed to access to heaven right away. King Hamlet was one who was not worthy. If the word of a man already in purgatory has the power to help save the fate Claudius, it is clear why further sins were committed. As well, it is clear that Claudius did not murder someone whose hands were clean themselves. I would like to tell you about the first virtue Claudius did. Patience, the opposite virtue of ebony. In Act 2, Claudius has his doubts of Hamlet being truly mad and is convinced there is more to this and he is in danger. Claudius would love to investigate this as he is smart enough to realize it is impossible, but it is most likely Hamlet is envious of the crown and may know the truth of his father's death. However, Claudius still meets with the ambassador, Baltamad, to discuss the matters of Denmark. Polonius is sure that Hamlet is mad from love and grief, and even though King Claudius doubts this, he still is willing to find out if this is the true reason. Diligence is another virtue of Claudius had expressed. While Hamlet plots against Claudius with claims of stealing the kingdom, it is clear that this isn't true. Act 1, Scene 2, line 15, quote, "Nor have we herein barred your better wisdoms, which have freely gone with the affair along for all our thanks." It is clear that in no way did Claudius steal the throne, but rather was accepted into the role of king. Not only that, he was speaking on behalf of the queen, as well their marriage was clearly approved, and accept by council of marriage is a practice performed by the church itself. Now, while both Claudius and Hamlet were using methods to find the truth from each other, it is clear Hamlet cannot help but commit the sin of wrath. When Hamlet is sure after the play that Claudius is guilty, he immediately follows Claudius. Yes, during the play, Claudius loses composure, but due to immeasurable guilt, yet he does not harm anyone. Hamlet, on the other hand, who had just seen Claudius, still demonstrates the sin of wrath when he blindly stabs Polonius, believing it could have been Claudius. Claudius shows virtue in the act of humility, and that is counterbalanced for the father or of all sin, pride. He knew he did not deserve the church, nor could he change his fate, yet he still tried. As a man with power and a man who knew how to maintain this, he still knew there was a higher power. Quote, "Oh, my offense is rank, it smells to heaven, it wrath the primal elder's curse, opt a brother's murder." End quote. To be able to show this humility and also understand the seriousness of this offense can't belong to a person who is a true sinner. In the same moment, Hamlet contemplates killing Claudius right then and there while he prays, yet doesn't, as Claudius will be sent to heaven, and Hamlet believes he should suffer more. Because of Claudius, Gertrude did die. It was not a murder he had ever intended. Gertrude's death justified Claudius's punishment for his sins because she was the only person he ever meant to hurt. So therefore, I think Claudius should be allowed into heaven. He may have done wrong, but he made up for it, or at least tried to make up for it.